Is it working? It is working. Hello, Pav. Agua Abuela, I just remembered and did double check, means water grandma. So thank you for that one, for calling me a water grandma. Appreciate it. Mic is not my mic. Is it changed again? Oh, now it's my mic, isn't it? Go on, tell me now it's my mic. Good point. Yeah, it just keeps changing for some reason when I come off of it, but that's fine. Also, everyone knows, realising you do have a new overlay. Thank you, Pav, or full name is Pav and your mum, for the new overlay. Appreciate it, Pav, mate. Of course, for anyone who doesn't know, we are here for the MotoGP Sprint Race at Brno. Ones who don't know Brno, if they're new to MotoGP, is one of the classic tracks on the calendar, which they've been racing at, I think, since the 70s or 60s. Pretty sure it's 70s. Definitely 80s. Maybe 70s. Not sure 60s. And for anyone who didn't see the grid, we are here for the Ogura pole. Ogura was, unreal this morning. I did say as soon as he sorts qualifying out, he'll be a front runner and a contender, and he's done that. It's going to work if I go main Watchalong with the camera. Yes. Hi. Hello. Look at the brand new overlay as well. How flashy is that? Although the chat's not appearing. I can't say. Hello, Scott. Hello. The chat box did not save and is being quite irritating as well. Why didn't the chat bot save? Hi, Scott. Hello, Scott. Hi, Scott. Hello, Scott. Scott's a busy DJ right now as well. Does this one work? Yes or no? Oh. Scott is DJing, that is very true. Scott's been a busy DJ recently. This chat box is annoying me, I can't lie. Very annoying. Yeah, Pat, that's what I'm trying to do. It's quite irritating right now. The width I want. That for the width, and then the height I want like that maybe. Scott, that is why you are the top DJ. Of course you're playing MJ because you realise that's the way to go. Scott's DJ and I'm at work, but you have the priority, which is the Apex to Apex stream. That is, see, that's why you're loyal. We just need Ben now to get the group back together. I don't know where Ben is right now. Spam Ben while I try and figure out how to increase the font size on the chat. I don't know how to do it. Ben is still spinning on GT7, yeah. He did do it in the end, though. My chat disappeared now. Wow, this font size really does not want to change. That's incredibly annoying. Ben is still speaking on GT7. Listen, he made a sub 2 minute in the end because he sent me a picture on Instagram. So he did achieve it. Right. I don't know if he was still streaming when he made it. It's So Good was good the way it was. I think it's better now, actually. Look at that. Bosh! Found it. I set it all up beforehand, and then every time I come off of Streamlabs, it just doesn't want to save it in a minute, so I've got to save it manually. But it's fine. Absolutely fine. And it crashed once as well. Some of Streamlabs have been funny. But yes, if anyone doesn't know, we're here, of course, as I said, for the sprint race for the Brno Grand Prix. Ai Ogura is on pole position, his first pole position of his MotoGP career. The first time I've seen him... Can we talk about the top three? Go on, what do you think of the top three? It's the first time I've seen Ogura actually get qualifying together and hook it up. And I said it'll be top. They can't see it, it's fine. And I said he would be, if he can sort qualifying out, be a contender for the race. My money is on him to win on Sunday. Top three is not what anyone would have predicted. Well, here's the thing with the top three. Yesterday, Ai Ogura showed the pace from the start. I did think he'd get pole because he tends to normally struggle in qualifying itself. So I did not think pole position would be his. I'm not surprised to see Digi up there. Digi's normally up there, top 5 qualifying. Middle front row is good for him. I'm surprised to see Pecco Bagnaia in 3rd and Mark in 5th. Mark didn't... Well, actually, it was a weird qualifying because none of them actually really pushed on their last lap. The one who's having a stinker is Martin in 10th. Now, bear in mind, Martin has got... is it a double long lap? Cal Crutchlow top 3? Yeah. Yeah, he is. Pecco following Mark was funny to watch. It was actually weird to watch, purely because that happens a lot. If you don't watch a lot of MotoGP qualifying, you wouldn't know. That happens a lot when they try. In MotoGP, you want that slipstream, you want that carrot dangling in front of you in qualifying. So they all try and follow someone. Pecco Bagnaia normally doesn't like following anyone, which is why it was odd to see him purposely follow Mark and follow anyone. But then when he did his lap to go P3, he did it on his own, which that didn't surprise me with Pecco. That's what I expected Pecco to do initially, but he didn't. The big one for me, apart from Ai Ogura, Diego Moreira on the LCR Honda P6. He almost got front row as well, actually. I think he's at a 10th and a half off of the front row. Acosta, the only KTM into Q2. Surprised Morbidelli's up there. Acosta, you say, you say Acosta's disappointing. There's no other KTM in the top 12. That's what he's got to deal with right now, is that. His teammate is down here. You can't see it. His teammate's 19th. So, you know. Also, the rumours are... So there's a test on Monday. Acosta was... There you go. Acosta was superb. There's a test on Monday. What's my phone doing? With the new 850cc engines, the new regulation bikes. A test on Monday. There's no press. There's no cameras. And only some riders do. Not all the riders are doing it. They've chosen. Moreira, weirdly enough, isn't doing it, even though he won the Moto2 title on Pirelli tyres. Again, for those who don't know, the Pirelli are going to be the tyre manufacturer for MotoGP next season. And they're not using Moreira for the first test, which is very odd. I think Márquez is doing the test, a couple others. Alex Márquez is racing tomorrow. He's pulled out of the sprint race to conserve his energy in his body for tomorrow's race, which shows maybe it's just a bit too early. Pav has resubscribed for Team 1 for 2 months. Thank you, Pav. I didn't even see that. Sorry. Yeah, so that... I'm not surprised, really. I think it was impressive going to do the sessions he's done so far, considering his injuries since the Spanish Grand Prix. Bezzecchi 4th. It's not that surprising, really. Aprilia, I think, are stronger than... I think they are stronger. There's one on pole. It was automatic stop my money, was it? Thanks, mate. Yeah, Aprilia, I think, are stronger this weekend than Ducati. You know, you might say, why am I saying that when the top 5 has 3 Ducatis in and 2 Aprilias? That's over 1 lap. I think over a race distance, they look stronger. Oh, Ben's also resubscribed. Hello, Ben. Hello, Chef Ben. Ben, we were just discussing you achieving a sub 2 minute last night on Gran Turismo. That has been discussed in the chat. That is a point of notice. Yes, I do think over a race distance this weekend, Aprilia are stronger than Ducati. When becoming famous, you are, Chef, mate. Aprilia, I think, are stronger this weekend than Ducati. I'm interested, actually, that Ogura was that strong over 1 lap, because it wasn't even the whole weekend. I think the top 5 or 6 were split by, like, a 10th and a half, and then Ogura just came in and put that 2 tenths clear, which is staggering. Absolutely staggering, especially because Ogura's not good at qualifying. Now, for anyone who's watched a few, and I know you lot, we've all now watched a few races together, you've all seen the last 10 laps is always Ogura. It would not surprise me. Give me your predictions for the race, sprint race. Sprint race, because remember it's only 11 laps. Now they're long laps, but 11 laps. When Agura put the lap in, I knew it was over, hence why I messaged you. Yeah, but it wouldn't surprise me if Agura doesn't win the sprint race, because he's better over, so the full race distance is going to be 22 laps. He's better over a full race distance than the half. It wouldn't surprise me if Digi wins this. Or Bezzecchi. Oh, Bezzecchi struggles on Saturdays, actually. Sprint with Digi, yeah, that's what I'm kind of thinking the same thing. I don't think a factory red will do it. I think Agura will win tomorrow the full race distance with the heavy fuel and the tyre wear and the tyre management. The sprint race, I don't think he will. I want him to because I want Agura to get the victory, but I don't think he will. Moreira, I'm massively impressed by Moreira. Rumour is actually I'll redo the rumours if I can find them because someone sent me a thing earlier. Rumours are ready. Now all I need to do is get a sub 158 on that race and a sub 140 to Longos and Quali Sunday, and we're laughing. We will be laughing. Right, strap in. These are the rumours that are allegedly going to happen next week. Well, I've got a big fan in front of him. How hot is it in Czech Republic right now? God, he's got a solid hairline as Márquez. Anyway, so Bezzecchi has been reconfirmed at Aprilia, right? Moreira is reconfirmed at Honda. I don't know if it's LCR. Zarco's been reconfirmed at LCR, but no one knows if Zarco will race again with his leg injury. Moreira says, yeah, reconfirmed at Honda, but no one knows if that's factory Honda or LCR Honda yet. Toprak reconfirmed at Pramac. That's already been done. Márquez is to be reconfirmed with factory red, of course. Raul Fernandez to be reconfirmed at Trackhouse. Pedro Acosta to jump ship from KTM to the factory red to partner Marc Márquez. That then means Pecco Bagnaia is going to leave the factory red to go to Aprilia to replace Jorge Martin. That then means Jorge Martin is going to leave Aprilia to go to Yamaha. That then means Fabio Quartararo is apparently going to leave Yamaha to sign for Honda. Same with David Alonso, who's going to come from Moto2 to sign to Honda. The other Yamaha ride is going to be done by Ai Ogura, who's leaving Trackhouse Aprilia, which I think is a brave move, but you never know with the new regulations, the 850cc's. He's going to Yamaha. Izan Guevara, now I don't know how many people here watch Moto2, he's in Moto2. Guevara is rumoured to go to Pramac to partner Toprak. I think it's very unfair on Manu Gonzalez, who again is fighting for the title of Moto2, that he doesn't yet have a MotoGP ride. He could go to the Tech 3 KTM team, because their spots are still open. They currently have Vinales and Bastianini, but they're not confirmed yet. The factory KTM team, you might say, Almansa is not going to get a ride, no. Alex Márquez and Digi, as allegedly meant assigned to the factory KTM team, replacing Acosta's going to Ducati, and Brad Binder looks to be on his way out. And then that means that frees up places at VR46 because they're going to boot out Morbidelli. It's probably going to be Firmino Aldeguer could go VR46, leaving a place open at Gresini. And then Nicola Bulliger, who's going to win the World Superbike Championship, could go to VR46, which means we'll have Brad in the Binder. Pav, that is one of the best things you've ever done. That's very good. I didn't even think of it. Yeah, Nicola, that means MotoGP next year could have the last two reigning World Superbike champions in the MotoGP grid. So that leaves the seats with... Oh, I didn't say... The Gresini that then frees up Alex Márquez and Aldeguer, because Alex Márquez and KTM. Aldeguer is going VR46. Gresini will be filled up by Danny Holgado, again Moto2 coming up. And Johan Mir, who's been booted out of Honda because they're signing Quartararo and David Alonso, or Moreira. Mir's signing for Gresini. I think Mir's got away with one there to sign for another ride, but here we go. Nothing yet about Bastianini, if he's going to stay with the Tech 3 team or not. The thing is, I initially thought Bastianini would go back to petition Mir to Ducati. Hell no. I thought Bastianini was going to go back to the... Oh, so can you see my helmet? Look, we have a background now. Helmet. This beauty. And a Max picture. Yeah, I thought Bastianini would go back to Gresini. So he used to race for Gresini a couple of years ago. That's AI. It's not AI. And I thought he'd go back to Gresini. Apparently not. There's a chance he could be out of MotoGP. Same as Luca Marini. Nothing's been said about Luca Marini, who could also be his way out of MotoGP. Wouldn't surprise me. We know Rins is out. Miller's going to be out. They're also... It's like the changing of the guard right now, because all the old boys are kind of being shoved away for the new ones. But here we are, MotoGP. I let them do the fancy intros out the way, because it's boring. What I love about Ai Ogura is that he just doesn't show emotion whatsoever. Nothing. He got pole. Is what it is. He could win. Is what it is. Yeah, well, he's Asian. He ain't got emotions. Okay. You've gone down that route straight away. Fine. Okay. Yeah, go on. Give me top three predictions for the sprint race. Cal Crutchlow does not count for the lead, even though we all want him to win. But we can't say Cal Crutchlow for the lead. That's something we're not allowed to do. We're not allowed to do that. I know we all want Crutchlow to win, but it's just not going to happen, right? Digi, Ogura, Bez. Yeah, actually, that wouldn't surprise me at all. That would not surprise me at all. I really want Ogura to do it. I think most riders are going to go mediums, mediums, or it'll be medium front and rear, or medium front, soft rear. It'll be a mixture of both because it's a sprint race. I imagine the race tomorrow will be mediums. No one's going to touch the hard tyre. Deep down, I know Ogura will probably win. I want Ogura to do it because he deserves it. Bezzecchi struggles in sprint races though, doesn't he? Again, for those who have been here before, they know how much I hate this MotoGP timing system. So if the dots start moving before I'm commentating the race, ignore it. Go with my words. Ignore what's happening here. Because I don't know. I just can't stand. Maybe they will get another Martins in turn one. If we get a pile up in this turn one, then they've done well. Because you can see here, this is not a tight turn one. The only way there'll be crashes is the one's going wide here and the one's sticking to the inside. They're going to meet at the same bit of tarmac there on the exit. That's where the clashes will be. I really hate I can't see where they are on the warm-up lap. It really disturbs me. It really does. Have I said that enough times now? Ogura's 25. I'm 3 weeks older than Ai Ogura. That's sad. Oh, that's really bothering me, actually. I'm so far ahead. Well, yeah, you probably are. I'm on Sky Go right now. It's not as quick. Yeah, it's not as HBO Max is like almost live. Sky Go is about 30 to 40 seconds behind, I think. Big up HBO Max. I don't have an account for it, so. If Ogura does lead out of turn one, they could hold it. Because his pace is better than everyone else. The riders are lining up back on the grid. We're waiting for the gorgeous green flag at the back where the riders do line up. Where's Ogura into his pole slot? Imagine the adrenaline you must have for your first pole in MotoGP. And what I like, he's very slow on the warm-up, so he's making everyone wait. It's between Francis Spa next weekend. Is it? I didn't know that. Ogura's made everyone wait for him to go to his grid slot. I love when they do that. Aura. That's what that is. It's aura. Give us the gorgeous green flag at the back. We have the gorgeous green flag. The dots are moving, which is annoying, so I've had to pause it and try and time it. 5 hours are on. 5 hours now off. Ogura doesn't really get a good launch. Pecco Bagnaia got a very good launch, actually. Pecco Bagnaia's going to lead it to someone. Ogura's going to hang it on the outside. Di Giannantonio in the middle. Di Giannantonio is swamped, actually, by Bezzecchi on the inside. Moreira's gone deep into turn one. That could be tight. I think both Ducatis have dropped down quite a bit, like a stone, actually. Márquez down to 6th. Pecco Bagnaia, I say both Ducatis. Pecco Bagnaia leading come out of turn one into turn two down the back now. Bagnaia leads Ogura. Moreira coming onto this far straight into the turn two. Well, it's technically turn two or turn three. But no one's going to make a move. They're going to lunge. Moreira's at a solid start. Moreira up to third. That's Mark down the inside of Digi into turn three. That's going to be tight for the exit. But he's going to flip into turn four. The right-hander back down the hill. Now Mark's going to have to be careful with Digi. Remember, they don't get on. They don't really like each other, those two. Mark has bullied Digi out. The camera's gone off, so I don't know what's happening now. I don't know. I have no idea what's happened to the camera. The TV cameras are gone, but we're going back down the hill now. Bagnaia leaves Ogura. This is very good from Ogura to be there. Moreira solid from third. Márquez full, following a Honda. Digi fifth. Bezzecchi down to sixth. I thought Bezzecchi got a good launch, but it seems like he kind of got bullied actually going into turn one, into turn two. So he's down to sixth. Acosta up to seventh from eighth. Martins had a good start from 10th to eighth. I think Martins' long laps. Cal broke the camera. Cal did break the camera. I think Martins' long laps are for tomorrow, not today. So he spent the whole weekend focusing on how he's going to do the double long lap effectively. And he's basically sacrificed today, but my dots are behind, which is a bit annoying. The whole graphics on the actual TV is gone as well, so we're looking just purely at the timings. This is very good from Ogura. If Ogura can stay here for the next couple of laps, mark my words, he could win the sprint race, and I'll have to take back what I said about him not being strong, particularly strong at the start of sprint races, but it's a good start from him. Moreira has impressed me all weekend and continues to. I had to speed this up, because this is being very slow this time, I think, but I don't know how at this point. But Bagnaia is coming back up the hill now. Pav said, oops, I don't know what's just happened. There's a yellow flag somewhere. Oh, there you go. There's two of them. Is that Moreira gone as well? Moreira and Vinales. I think they've both gone. And this right-hander coming up the hill. I said this one in the podcast. It's easy to drop the front because of the camber balance, the camber difference, sorry. And the band's coming up the hill. But Vinales gone. And Moreira, I said, that's my fault. I just said Moreira's impressed me a lot this weekend, and he's just dropped it on the opening lap. That's my fault. I take that. That's sorry, right? Apologise for that. But Moreira, I think they both had the identical crash, but into lap 2 now, Pecco Bagnaia does leave Ai Ogura. Yeah, Moreira is hanging his head and his helmet on. That's disappointing. That's very disappointing. You absolute commentators case. Yeah, that's my fault. I regret doing that. But Bagnaia is leading. Ogura looks good. This is Ogura's sprint race. He looks really good. Look at Mark. I'm surprised Mark's in third this close. I really am. The dots are behind. He needs to find a way to speed this up. Watch guys. Moreira, I'm going to guess, has lost the front on his own. He's going the flip-flop into the right-hander. He comes up the hill now, so the front feels light always for the riders. And, of course, the exact point, the front's just gone on him. Vignales, the exact same crash, but actually a bit later in the corner. I think Moreira is probably on the entry of that right-hander, and Vignales on the exit. So, two identical crashes, just different parts of the corner. Both up the sprint race anyway. Bagnaia still leads Ogura by 2.5 tenths, 3 tenths going into the stadium section. Márquez in third. Carbon copy both of them. Yeah, carbon copy, just different parts of the corner. How do I now speed this up? Should we just do... Oh god, I've reset it. No. Is it going back to recount the laps? Okay. Look at this. This timing screen is absolutely dreadful. Is it counting there on... And I can't even see what lap they're on the TV because it's broken. So now I'm just guessing at this point where the actual dots are. Oh, now apparently they're coming up here on the lap 3. Okay. Guess I'm going to try to time it like that then, aren't I? Stupid thing. Bagnaia, by the way, is leading the go about half a second now. So this is very strong for Bagnaia. This Bagnaia on the brakes, especially on the front end, he's been able to slide the rear in, which is what he used to do in his winning days. This has been old school Bagnaia. This has been Pecco Bagnaia before Mark joined Ducati and before the front of that bike changed. You can see there the way how aggressive he is on the brakes. Bagnaia used to be the latest braker in MotoGP. But again, before they changed the front of that bike and before Mark came along on the Ducati, Bagnaia was the one to beat on the brakes. He's been there again this weekend. That's why he can hold Ogura and he can hold Markov all with the same gap. But as we start the next lap now, I think this is lap 3. The timings are coming back on the TV. No, they're not. I'm still going to guess where they are then. Digi still fourth. Bezzecchi is still holding down in 5th of course the 6th. Oh, someone's wide. There's Ralph Fernandez wide in turn 1. That's going to leave room for Jorge Martin to get him in the exit at turn 1. That's going to be a run up the hill, but Fernandez is going to have a perfect slipstream. These two have history, remember, back to the Spanish Grand Prix when they came together at turn 5, I think it was. The left-hander, Fernandez is going to have to settle for losing that position, though, as we go back into turn 3 and 4. Digi Antonio's now on the back of Mark. This is what I expected. Mark hasn't really had the pace at all this week, and I thought Digi was going to make a move down the inside of that right-hander then. But he went against it, but Digi all over the back of Márquez. Márquez and Bagnaia, the only ones in the top 5, top 6, top 10 actually, with the soft rear tyre. That's interesting. I actually thought more would be on the soft rear tyre, but it's only them for now. But Digi's lining up Márquez. He won't make a move in the stadium section, it's too tight. Bagnaia still leads Ogura by now 7 tenths of a second, but Ogura is going to come back, I think, towards the last 4 laps. Remember, only on lap 3 out of 10. What's happening down the field? Oh, look at that. We've got 3 KTMs in the top 10 now. I mean, Maverick knows Pav. I'm putting the curse of Vignales with you, because you bigged him up all weekend and he dropped it as well on lap 1. So I'll take the fault for Moreira. You've got to take the fault for Maverick Vignales. Toprak is leading the stinky Yamaha battle with 14th, with Quartararo 15th. See, I think that's embarrassing for the other Yamahas. Fighting for 14th, 15th, 17th and 18th is embarrassing enough. Toprak joined this year. Listen, Vinny's 2 go just on the wrong end. Yep. Yeah, on the wrong end of it. Yeah, it's embarrassing that Toprak has already beaten them and already competed in the race. They should be ashamed of. I mean, we know Quartararo is already checked out of Yamaha. That's a fact. We know that already. He wants to be on that Honda, but his words in the media are not. Honda don't like what he says, which is a very interesting PR angle. What they're going to do. But Toprak is 14th, leading the stinky Yamaha battles. Now Morbidelli qualified 9th. He made Q2. Whoop-de-doo. He's dreadful. He's in 16th fighting the Yamahas. That's why he's not in MotoGP next year. He's had his time starting lap 4. Bagnaia leads over the line 9 tenths of a second to Ogura now. He's pulled that gap to the Aprilia in second, and Ogura's actually holding the gap to Mark. And I'm surprised Mark held Digi behind that whole lap. Pedro Acosta is all up the back of Marco Bezzecchi out of turn 1. Camera's gone off again. I don't know what's happening in Brno right now, but he's going to have a nice slipstream up the hill now into turn... I'm going to call it turn 2 because it is. Out of gears at the track warning. Acosta's too far, even though Acosta's sliding that KTM into this left-hander before the flip-flop for the right-hander, but he's right up the back of Bezzecchi. But if he goes wide, Martin's going to go down the inside of Acosta and the right-hander. That's beautiful from Martin. Stunning move from Martin. That's going to annoy Acosta that Acosta let that happen, but that's a proper flip-flop in this chicane here. It's a good move. Martin followed him here. Went then inside. Acosta straight down the inside again of Jorge Martin into the right-hander down the hill. Caso straight away, but Martin might square him maybe into the stadium section. Here we go. Martin's on the inside. Acosta's got to let that be now. Good racing between the two of them, but Acosta's going to come back when he's going to the outside line to the gate. No, he's done it. He's got him down the outside on the brakes into the stadium section. He's shut Martin up there. Martin's going to have to come back through. He looks quicker, but Acosta will not have it. This is why we need Acosta on a quicker bike, which next year is going to happen. He's going to be on the red bike of the factory Ducati team. But this is why without Acosta, what a sexy guy Acosta is. Acosta is brilliant to watch. If anyone hasn't heard the podcast of Acosta on recently, I think it's called the Gypsy Towers podcast. Watch it 'cause it's brilliant. And it's in English. 3 hours in English, and it's very good. But Acosta is brilliant. As soon as he leaves, KTM I think are in big trouble. No one can ride the bike like Acosta can. Back at the front, Bagnaia is pulling Ai Ogura. It's now 1.1, 52.5, 52.6. The last 2 laps, Bagnaia is in his form. This is old Bagnaia. The commentary is saying about can the soft tyre last out. Now I'm intrigued that there's the conversation about the soft tyre, and both factory Ducati boys have gone for it on the rear tyre. That's staggering to me how they've done that. If there's that doubt on it. But Márquez has pulled a little gap to Digi Antonio and has actually closed Ai Ogura by a couple temps this lap to 6.5 temps. Now we're going to see Márquez versus Ogura. I would be surprised. I think Mark's taking care of that soft tyre and he just wants to cover Digi. I think he'll take a third in the sprint race. Pecco Bagnaia looks brilliant. He looks brilliant in the braking. Cal Crutchlow is only 1.5 seconds behind the pack. Big up 1.7, 1.8 now. But big up Crutchlow for that. He's within that 3-second mark of the back and front. And the one in front of his good friend Jack Miller and Rins, who have both been sacked for next year. So make of that what you will. And in front of them is Morbidelli, who's also been sacked for next year. So again, take of that what you will. They've enough said. Toprak is still leading the stinky Yamaha battle. I love saying that, the stinky Yamaha battle. And I like the Toprak's winning it because he's showing his talent. I saw a video the other day of Toprak doing a handstand on his bike, which was something. I've never seen someone do that before. What's interesting is you don't really get this in MotoGP much anymore, and next year I hope you don't get it, but there's a similar gaps at the front. So you got Pecco and Ogura is just under 9 temps. Pav says justice for Morbidelli. No justice for Morbidelli. He's awful. He's had his time in MotoGP. He had a time in 2020. I've got a sneeze. It does what it sneezes. It does what it sneezes. Justice for Cal. That's what I think. Justice for Cal. Ogura's closed 3 temps this lap, actually. I was going to say the gap's the same. We've got the same gap between Pecco and Ogura, between Ogura and Mark. I need to sneeze, but it's not coming. Anyway. But actually, Ogura's closed the gap. I think 3 temps this gap he's closed to Pecco Bagnaia. It's become back up the hill now after she came when Moreira and Vinales dropped it. What is it? Just within 7 temps between Pecco and Ogura. Then we've got 7 temps between Ogura and Mark, and just over 9 temps between Mark and Digi. Interesting. Acosta is still just within the half a second mark of Marco Bezzecchi, and he's got Martin right behind him still. So that's going to be interesting. Ralph Fernandez is joining that group as the corners go on, as the laps go on. So watch what Ralph Fernandez do. Again, Trackhouse Aprilia, who's clearly a good bike this weekend with Ogura in second, but he's definitely closed the gap. He closed the 10th and the 10th and the 10th and the 10th. He got nearly 4 tenths, over 4 tenths closed that lap on Pecco Bagnaia. Is this Ai Ogura coming now as the tyres start to wear a little bit? Remember, the soft tyres are going to wear more than the mediums, so this could be Ai Ogura's time, but Márquez has got within 6 tenths of Ai Ogura as well, so the fight is not over. That's what Ogura is saying under the helmet. Oh, having your mum. I wish I could read it. Actually, that lap, ironically, eyes are on Ogura. Márquez was the fastest one at the top 3 that lap, and he's closed on Ogura, who's closed on Pecco Bagnaia. This race is not done yet, as we're just at the halfway mark into lap 6 now. Márquez is closing on Ogura and Bagnaia. This is fascinating now. I did not expect Mark to go with Ogura. Shut up. I'm not going to read it. I think Gavin Emmett ranting about Bezzecchi. For a title fight, Bezzecchi's going to need more points in the sprint races, which is true. He struggles with the sprint races, doesn't he? He falls. I think he's had 2 podiums, they said, this year in the sprint races, and he's dropped it from at least 3 or 4 sprint races this season, and he's currently in 5th, and he's dropped 1.5 behind Digi Antonio now. Digi Antonio, I thought his pace would be slightly better, I've got to be honest. Okay, Pav. Okay. I'm definitely... Okay. Borderline. But I don't know how I feel about Ogura going to Yamaha next year. That I'm really not sure. Oh, someone's crashing turn 11. That's a fast one. Oh, it's Pedro. There you go. It's Pedro. That's going to put Martin on Bezzecchi as he lost the front. Again, it's one of those ones where you come uphill, the front of the bike feels light because of the change in elevation. He's lost the front early. That's exactly where Mark crashed on Friday in FP2, or in practice. I mean, the thing is with Pedro, you can't blame him for crashing this year because he's pushing that bike to the maximum. But that's a crash that happens on the front end, especially that chicane. We saw Vinales and Moreira drop it at the second part of the chicane. Mark dropped it in on Friday the exact same way. The front goes early because the elevation change, it goes light, especially if you're trail braking in. It's a crash we've seen before. It's a crash we will see again. Pedro, you plonker. I just saw that. I didn't see that before. I mean, yeah, it's a plonker, but you can't blame him, can you? What more can you do on that KTM? Oh, there you go. I said about where's Digi's pace gone. That last lap round, Digi was the quickest out of all of them. But ironically, it's actually Márquez closing on Ogura. Ogura is still just hovering at 6 tenths behind Pecco Bagnaia. Mark's within 4 tenths of Ogura now. So that soft tyre is clearly not wearing. The camera's now on Mark fully, as they know what's going to happen, I think. The cameras are on Mark to attack Ogura. But then if Mark does that attack Ogura, that's going to give Pecco at least a lap or two of breathing space before he's attacked. Because Pecco's pace, I think, has now dropped off, which is the typical Pecco Bagnaia, really, isn't it? He always drops off towards the end of any race he's in now. But Mark is definitely closer to Ogura. Digi Antonio is not closing the gap at all. He might have been quicker last that round, but he's dropped 2 tenths this time to Mark himself, as Mark's got within 4 tenths still of Ogura. That moves on the way now, but Ogura needs to keep his hunt on Pecco Bagnaia. These two can't afford to lose time to Bagnaia by fighting each other. Mark is all over the back of Ogura. Now look at the way he's chucking the Ducati into that chicane, coming back up the hill. 220, 230, 240, 250, 260, 270, 280. That's what they get, by the way, between this chicane exit and that straight. That's how quick they build the speed up the hill. It's a very steep hill as well. We don't really understand, or we don't. So until you're there, you don't see how steep the hill actually is. Over the line now. Ogura is within 4 tenths of Pecco Bagnaia, closest he's been. Mark's still within 4 tenths of Ogura. There's a yellow flag again in turn 13. That's the last chicane. Someone's lost it earlier. I think it's Luca Marini again. Another one who looks to be sacked next year. Yeah, that's going to be in the left hand of the first part of the final chicane. That's Marini out as well. Bunda was the camera on Mark's. Bunda missed that. Look at this now. So there's another crasher. A lot of crashes. Brno is normally an attrition race, but I didn't expect this many to drop it on the sprint race, to be honest. There's already 4 gone. Crutchlow is still at the back. Just dropped the team 4 seconds behind Jack Minna. Ogura is now pushing at Aprilia into this chicane. Come onto the back straight down the hill. He's actually pulled Mark now. Mark's now 5 tenths behind. Mark to send it. Well, Mark was close last lap, but this lap Ogura has turned it up a bit and has actually closed the gap on Bagnaia and pulled Mark a little bit, so Mark's not too far away. The ascent now has to be from Ogura to Pecco Bagnaia, but where can he do it? You can't do it in the stadium section, no chance. It's going to be one of the downhill braking sections, maybe into this one. I don't know what turn this is, but maybe turn 10 I think this might be. Could be turn 10 if he can get the run out of the chicane down here, but it's either going to be in there onto the there's three ideal corners to it. 4, sorry. Turn 2 here, this right-hander here, the downhill right-hander here, or this left-hander up the hill here. They're going to be the 2. You could do what Martin done here and do the flip-flop into the right-hander turn 4 for the chicane. It's brave though, especially if someone like Pecco Bagnaia is going to hold it out as long as he can. I'm intrigued now. I'm intrigued. Ogura needs to be if he's going to send it though, he needs to be closer. Needs to be closer. Look at the speed they carry up the hill was tremendous. 2 laps to go. It's about to be 2 laps to go. Ogura is. Oh, he's holding on to the front of that pretty as they were both wide actually. Mark was the tightest one into that final chicane, so Mark's gained time on Ogura now coming onto the last corner, coming onto the main straight, out of the last corner, but Ogura is just still within 4 tenths of Bagnaia, but none of them are close enough to make the move. He's within 3 tenths of Bagnaia now, 0.26, but they're not close enough to make a move. Ogura's going to have to lunge it. Ogura's going to have to lunge it. He's definitely stronger than Bagnaia now at this point. They're both wide in turn 1. We say wide, they're both going to pick up the late apex and they're going back onto the main straight for the little kink at turn 2 up the hill, but he's too far away to send it. He's going to have to really launch it. He's going to have to get within 2 tenths. Being within 3 tenths is nice. You get the slipstream, but he's going to have to be within 2 tenths, but even close actually, be within 1 tenth under braking to make the move on Bagnaia the way he's braking. Ogura's wider than Bagnaia into this left-hander. That's going to invite Mark slightly, who I guarantee was tight. As a yellow flag again in sector 1. Not sure who's dropped it. That's going to be at turn 3. That's the left-hander. Someone's dropped it. That would be a front-ender. And it's Marco Bezzecchi. The championship leader has again dropped it on a sprint race. As I was saying, he can't keep the bike on the track on the sprint race. He needs to pick up the points on the Saturdays if he wants to win the championship. And again, he's dropped it on a Saturday. That's what he's 5th maybe now. All in his own. That'll be all in his own, dropping the front of turn 3. He needs to stop doing it. He needs to stop doing it. Someone else apparently has just crashed, but they said on the commentary. I don't know what's happened. He needs to stop doing it on Saturdays, Marco Bezzecchi. That's what's costing him. He should be more than 15 points ahead. There's a replay top left. I think it's going to be Bezzecchi all on his own. He's gone in, the front sliding and the rear sliding trying to keep up. And the front's just gone. See, that's a mistake they make on Friday. You shouldn't be making it now in a sprint race on the Sunday at that corner. They know that's the dangerous corner to do. Back at the front, the gap between the top 3 is actually just over half a second between all 3 of them. But Marco Bezzecchi has again opened the door. This is perfect for Marc Márquez to catch that gap. Absolutely perfect. If Mark can get Ogura now and gain as much points as he can, it's absolutely perfect for him to close the gap, because Aprilia and Bezzecchi are crumbling already. As I predicted, good lap from Pecco Bagnaia. Look at the gap he's put on Ogura. It's 4 tenths now into the last chicane. Actually, that leaves Mark open to attack Ogura. It's 2 tenths. Mark's very good in the left hand, of course he is, in that last chicane. Pecco Bagnaia might have done enough. He might have done enough that lap to build the gap and give him half a lap of breathing room, which is enough to win. But Ogura's good at the last corner. Over the line, the gap is 0.3 of a second between Bagnaia and Ogura, and just 0.2 between Ogura and Márquez. But again, none of them are close enough to make a move. That's the funny thing about Brno and how these bikes are, how long it is. The track is so wide, you can kind of go wide, but there's always a late apex in most of the corners. Back up the hill, Bagnaia is looking, you probably hear Ogura, can hear Márquez. God, I love MotoGP. Top rank 11th as well, still leading the stinky Yamaha battle with Fabio Quartararo in 12th. Top rank 11th, he is 2 points off the 2 seconds, off the top 10, so that's not going to move anywhere there. But the leaders are 2 tenths to 3 tenths of each other now. They're not close to make a move. No one can make a move. If none of them make a mistake, it will stay 1, 2, 3. Ogura's really pulled Mark in the first sector here. As he hasn't really closed on Bagnaia actually, because Bagnaia is being solid right now on that Ducati. This is the best he's looked in a very long time. Pecco Bagnaia, he's earning this win as well. Absolutely earning this sprint race victory. That's it. Pecco Bagnaia looked good yesterday on the brakes. As soon as you see Pecco sliding the rear end on the brakes and using and abusing the front end, especially when the hill's dropping down. Oh, he's wide there in the chicane. I say that, I need to stop talking and praising the riders because he's wide in that chicane. That's invited Ogura maybe to come back down the hill down the final lap of this sprint race. Ogura's going to be in the slipstream of Pecco Bagnaia, but the gap's still 3 tenths. He's not enough. Not enough. Pecco Bagnaia just needs to not make a mistake, and Ogura won't be able to make a move. Mark's not close enough to do anything. Again, as the lap goes on, he loses time. He's good in the first sector, but loses as the lap goes on and on into sector 3 and 4 especially. Well, not 3 and 4 actually, 2 and 3 especially. But Bagnaia just needs to hold it. 2 more corners for Pecco Bagnaia to hold this. They go back up the hill from the chicane. Bagnaia sliding the bike in between the chicane flip-flop. Up the hill, Ogura is nowhere near close to make a move. This is going to be Pecco Bagnaia sprint race, and a very, very good sprint race from Bagnaia himself. A very good performance from him. And Ducati, I thought would pretty be stronger. It is a good sprint race. It's going to be Bagnaia, I think, holding it if he doesn't make a mistake in the last corner. He is wide. He's very wide in that left-hander, but he's going to make the cover. He covers the inside for the last hand. Ogura cannot make a move. Bagnaia is going to hold the sprint race. A fantastic sprint race win for Pecco Bagnaia. That's old Pecco Bagnaia. Ogura second and Márquez third. I don't think the factory Ducati boys are going to be annoyed at that at all. First and third, considering how their pace looked this morning and kind of yesterday. But that was old school Pecco Bagnaia. That was Pecco Bagnaia before Mark joined Ducati, and that was Pecco Bagnaia with confidence in that front end, and that's what he needed. Mark, I think, will be happy with third, picking up the points, especially since Bezzecchi once again scores nothing on a Saturday. No, it just says Cal Crutchlow crashed out at the last. Did he drop it at the last corner? Don't tell me Crutchlow dropped it at the last corner. There is a yellow flag. I really hope Crutchlow hasn't dropped it at the last corner. Oh, he did. He did. He's crashed on the last corner of the last lap. Oh, Cal. Unlucky, son. Unlucky. But that is a very good incentive, I think, for tomorrow. I do think Ogura will win tomorrow. If Ogura gets a clean start, you saw then, that was 11 laps, and as the last 3 or 4 laps went on, Ogura was faster. He had the confidence of the braking, he had more tire grip. You see Bagnaia was starting to slide the rear tyre more. And for tomorrow, Ben, that's 11 laps. Add on another 11 laps, or 10 laps actually, sorry. Add on another 10 laps for tomorrow. I think the win will be Ai Ogura's. However, fantastic of factory boys though. I did not expect the factory boys to be as competitive as they were. I didn't think Mark would be as close to them too. I'm surprised I'm surprised the soft rear tyre lasted the race. It did, but it was going towards, wasn't it? I think 2 more laps maximum, and I think Ogura would have got Bagnaia. But maybe the soft rear tyre was the right choice to go, because it did hold on, struggling in the last lap, but he held on over 2 tenths over the line. Tyre pressure for 42 is under investigation. That's Alex Renzi's 40th, no one cares. Top Rank did win the stinky Yamaha battle. Actually beat Morbidelli. Morbidelli being beat by a Yamaha. That's absolutely dreadful. And that is also why he has been sacked from MotoGP. Don't want to be that guy, but that's the reason why. I mean, it's obvious, isn't it? It's really obvious why he's been sacked. He's just frankly not good enough. Good sprint race actually. I was kind of skeptical of how it would be because Brno's a very aggressive track, especially on the tyre, so I was curious to see what they would do. But yet again, MotoGP did put on a show. I don't know what the championship gap is now, but I want to see the standings purely because of Bezzecchi dropping it again. It's ironic, a lap before it wasn't my commentator curse. I'll take blame for Diego Moreira's drop. That was my commentator's curse. But Gavin Emmett was saying on commentary for TNT that for a title fight to go on, Bezzecchi needs to pick the points up on the Saturday, and he doesn't do that. And then a lap later, he's dropped it on his own, and I don't know why he struggles on low fuel, Bezzecchi. He really struggles on low fuel with tyres coming down, and I'm not sure why, because Martin's the opposite. Martin actually recovered to 5th, which, when you started 10th, isn't that bad. Remember, tomorrow Martin has to do the double long lap penalty as well, so bear in mind for that one. That's going to put him right at the back. Nice. The race tomorrow, I think, is at 1 p.m. Here's Bezzecchi. Yeah, all on his own. He's just gone into turn 3 too fast, and the bike's already sliding on the braking. All on his own, but I want to see the championship gap. Yeah, he's wide. He's wide going. As soon as he's corner entering on the braking, he's already wide. As soon as you do that, you're going to lose all grip. Bezzecchi, awful from him. And he's costing his own championship at this point. The fact that there's even a championship fight happening and the Aprilias are getting caught by the Ducati isn't good enough from the Aprilias themselves. Of course, there's the whole thing with Jorge Martin happening because they don't like him, so he'll get booted, and he is being booted to Yamaha. They're still going around the track. Yikes. Where are they going? Where are they going? That's what I don't know. Bagnaia and Ogura are going somewhere on the track still. Into turn 3, it looked like. I don't quite know where they're going. Or maybe the sprint race podium is at a different point of the circuit. Who's 36 behind? Is Digi Antonio 36 points behind Bezzecchi? Is that what you're saying? If Digi is 36 behind Bezzecchi, that is outrageous from Aprilia and Bezzecchi to let it be that close still. Absolutely outrageous. Bagnaia is doing the goon ride in the old school ride at the stadium section. I do like when they do that. However, I will say, before I end this stream, before tomorrow's stream, Pecco Bagnaia really did deserve that. Really did deserve that sprint race win. That's been his best ride for probably a year and a half now. Holding off Ogura, holding off Mark. I'm surprised again Mark was that close to Ogura. I think Ogura tomorrow is going to have the race win though. As I said, the race tomorrow is live at 1 p.m. I think. Yes, 1 p.m. So we'll be live at probably 1:45 or 20 to 1, so 12:40, 12:45. God, there's a truck going around. Are you working Sunday evening? No, I am not working Sunday evening. Hell no. I'll be streaming MotoGP, as I said, at 1 p.m. or 12:40, 12:45, and then gaming probably for the rest of the day. I'm guessing you're racing. If you're racing, I'll tune into your race. Is it the Interlagos one? Yeah, it's Interlagos. Yeah, I'll tune in. Bennett and Interlagos. Just don't spin, mate. Me and Pav told you yesterday. Just don't spin and you'll be fine. Good sprint race. Very good sprint race. But yes, lads, I will see you. I think Scott might join along tomorrow if he's not DJing. He's a busy DJ. But I'll see you in this wonderful group we have now in the stream tomorrow for the 1 p.m. start MotoGP race at Brno. The full race, the 20 laps distance. And I think he's busy right now. Yeah, I know he's a busy man right now. He told me yesterday. But yes, the full race distance tomorrow. The championship fight is going to close down, especially if Aprilia and Bezzecchi keep making mistakes. Watch out for Ogura. My money now. We'll make predictions tomorrow, but my money is on Ogura. Oh, here's the championship gap. Martin's 15 behind Bezzecchi. Digi 36. Acosta's still 4th, just 48 behind Marco Bezzecchi. That's how many mistakes Aprilia and Bezzecchi are making on a Saturday. Anyway, lads, that will be it for today, and I'll see you tomorrow for the main race. Thank you, guys.